What's going on, everyone? Connor Unchained. Bringing you guys another video today. I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be a mix between BRC20s, SRC20s, and just the Bitcoin DeFi space overall, because the opportunity that's going to be coming up, in my opinion, is going to rival, you know, insane runs that we saw in the past. It's going to be similar to getting into Solana, maybe at a couple dollars, something like that, coming from the bottom very soon, which is going to hit and then into the next year to 2 years, I think we're going to see a ton of gains in this entire narrative of Bitcoin DeFi, anything related to it, including BRC20s, SRC20s. We got runes that's coming up in April around the halving, and really any layer one, layer twos, built mainly on Bitcoin or even just layer twos, aiming for Bitcoin scalability, even if they're built on other chains. So we're just going to talk about a few here. So the main thing that I want to bring up though is I want to show you guys. So let me delete this. So this is TERT. This is a very, or it was probably one of the most common or popular BRC20s that was out. When BRC20s were popping off, literally a month, 2 months ago. But I want you guys to notice something too about these coins, because obviously these TERT launched in November, mid-November, had a huge run well into December, just over a month. But price is almost back down to previous lows over here. But so something I want you guys to look at is you can kind of picture this right here. We had price launched, came up, it pumped, came down for a little while, sat in a flat accumulation zone for a while before really starting its next run. And so my thing right here is what do you guys think BRC20s, SRC20s, any tokens on Bitcoin, what do you think they're loading up right now? Or what do you think they're going to be doing? If we look at this chart, they're literally starting to do the same exact thing. You can almost picture this as a hype launch. It came up, it came down, we're going to see sideways. It's going to go sideways for a while until when? Probably after the Bitcoin halving later in this year. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to take this long for prices to really kick back up. But I mean, it could take a while, but that's part of the game though, is getting in at the bottom and selling the top. That's how you got to play crypto, right? But like I said, we saw this. We've seen crypto basically flatline right now, or not crypto, BRC20 specifically right now. They're down low, they're down bad. They might sit for a while at absolute lows. And this is where I'm looking for the strongest BRC20 communities, the strongest BRC20 projects that continue to deliver, that are, delivering all the time, every single day still. That's going to be key. And just even a lot of these new projects are doing similar things with their charts, But seeing TERT specifically, there's .com, it's another one. Even Mubi or Multibit. The chart doesn't look this low, but it looks like maybe kind of like this. It's kind of sitting at a level here. It's not as low, but very similar idea. Prices come up. It's basically back down to the literal bottom, right? And I expect this to continue for a while. I don't expect this to pump overnight, because it's not going to happen. But we can expect what we saw here in the accumulation, and then into another massive run. The same exact thing is going to happen, I think, across the board for these Bitcoin DeFi projects. Again, this includes the layer 2s on Bitcoin, the whatever layer 1s you want to consider on Bitcoin, also the BRC20s, also SRC20s, and also Rune tokens. Most of them, and when Rune launches, probably going to be very hyped for a while. But again, it's probably going to do something similar to what we saw here, especially, it's probably going to go up for a while. I feel like runes are going to be very hyped, but at the same time, they could completely dump, once that hype is gone, because mainly the hype comes from, the rumor of all this happening. That's what's driving the price of everything, especially for runes. But once runes are actually out, most people are gonna sell and get rid of everything, especially like RSICs. That's why those have been running like crazy. It's because people are farming basically a free airdrop, and they're getting free tokens that they can just sell once the hype is over. And I think if people are smart, if you're still holding it, hold it a little bit before those are actually out. If you hold into runes being launched, you are going to get dumped on so hard. I'm telling you. Sell while you're up on those RSICs. And if they dump again after you sell, just get back in at the lows. But anyways, back to what we're talking about here. This is what I can see happening to most BRC20s, just any projects that are built on Bitcoin. It's going to have some sort of major run. And it's going to eventually hit all-time highs, break through it, and or not all-time highs, like previous highs, and just break through. And as you guys got to realize too, where we are in the cycle. We have a lot of time still to go. Oh. And I'm sorry for the lag too. This is just getting ridiculous. But we have until, I'd say at least until here, around May to June of 2025. Maybe a little bit later, a couple months later it could be. But I'd say in May to June is, that's kind of where I'm predicting, for the most part, right around where the Bitcoin top is going to be. Maybe, again, it's maybe within a couple months, early or later than that, but it's going to be within that 3 to 5 month span. Probably in between April to September, maybe. I really believe that's probably where the top is going to be. But what I'm getting at with that is right, just look back at this. This is what we're looking at now with the charts, what we're worried about. This eventually is going to do something like this. It's going to run into 2025, probably going to continue up. Huge dump, and then boom, boom. But bottom line, what is the chart doing? We're seeing this chart go up, it bounces, accumulation zone again. And then what does it do after a few months? Might take even longer than this, like 6 months later. Price starts to go up again and breaks through all-time highs, makes new highs, continues to fly, and it's even from current levels now, 0.013. Basically if this goes to 13 cents to 10x, 26 cents is going to be 20x. I don't even know what 13 times 3 is. 36, 37, 39 cents is going to be 3x. Almost it's going to be around a 40x, even just from lows like this type shit that, TERT could pull. And this is not just TERT. This is the entire Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. And I'm including Track too. I think Track is going to pull unbelievable numbers this bull run. They're literally just a market leader. There's no way around it. Track is going to make a killing. But I just wanted to show you guys this because I know a lot of people, they don't really, I don't want to say they don't believe in BRC20s or, these meta protocols because maybe they're outdated or they're inefficient or whatever. But bro, at the end of the day, you're still dealing with, for the most part, some of these are very solid projects. As in, you got a real developer behind it. You got people really working on this project. At the same time, it doesn't really matter where this is going to be built. Because, there's going to be... it's going to be projects and developers and whatever else you want to call them that are going to just adapt. They'll adapt. Maybe they relaunch their token on runes or they do something else. I feel like people don't think that, real builders aren't going to just... they don't. Who's gonna want to stay left behind, if that's even a thing? We don't even know, because BRC20s may withstand the entire bull run. And I believe they will. They're going to have their place in this bull run, no matter what people are saying. BRC20s, SRC20s, any sort of meta protocols on Bitcoin, they're going to have their own separate runs. separate from, even Bitcoin layer 2s, like with smart contracts. But at the same time, they're probably going to run very similar, if not hand in hand. Because what we saw is when Bitcoin is really making new highs, all-time highs, we saw so many BRC20s just, do 10 to 40, 50, 60 X's over what Bitcoin was doing. And they run almost directly with Bitcoin. And especially when it's going to break new highs, stuff like that. These any BRC20 that's a good solid project is going to do a 10x more than what Bitcoin does. Even if Bitcoin goes up 18%, the coin you're holding might go do a 5x in that same span. It's and just based on the chart, like I said, it's gonna be this same pattern over and over. Maybe not throughout the bull run, but at least for right now, into the actual halving, into months after the halving. That is what's going to happen. Many coins are going to just be hibernating in this accumulation zone for a while. Not even just BRC20s, across the board. In my opinion, there's a lot of projects that, their charts do look good. Their charts are just up. They've been going up, settle, bounce, bounce. And they've been doing this for like 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, upwards of a year. And when a chart does that, like, I think it's very strong, but at the same time, there needs to be some sort of actual correction that's got to break, some sort of major uptrend. And like I said, I still think a lot of projects, there's got to be some sort of correction with these across the board, before we make new highs. And I'm not saying all these projects, because obviously TERT here is down, I think, 90-something%. Most BRC20s specifically are down hard. But this is kind of just, this is kind of the opportunity that I wanted to show you guys, because I know a lot of people, you might have lost hope because, most BRC20s, if not all of them, are down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% from their highs, Well, the thing is I'm looking at these as builders, as long as the team is building, everything about these projects, as long as they've stayed the same fundamentally, the only thing that's changed is the price. And mainly because Bitcoin's finally cooling off, it looks like. And I still think there's downside that's imminent, coming soon. I think that's going to be the dip of a lifetime, literally coming within the next month to 3 months from now. But when that really does dip, maybe to 34, 35, around there, that's it. That's going to be your entry for everything, to just buy, sit on your hands and knees, and just relax. You could literally buy tokens that you've been watching for a while and just let it run. Just don't even look at your wallet for a year and a half. Go move to another country, and then 2 years later come back and look at your wallet, and then you're going to be like, yo, that's how this market's going to go. But bottom line, that's what I want to show you guys, because let's see if I can see BRC20com. I'm pretty sure that's the token. .com. Yeah, no, maybe not. I know on DexScreen I can't really find it sometimes. Yeah, no, this is not it. I don't know what this is. But yeah, bottom line, guys, that's what I got for you guys. It's just, I think the opportunity is going to be there for a lot of Bitcoin DeFi. No, you know what? This isn't the end. I wanted to bring up a bunch of different Bitcoin layer 2s, or whatever you want to call them, other layer 1s. So another one is SOV. Ticker SOV, it's Sovereign. This one, like I said, I look at these projects kind of outside of the BRC20, SRC20s. But they're basically in the same exact narrative. They just have different underlying tech. That's it. But again, me mentally, I usually separate things like that. But either way, it doesn't really matter. But with Sovereign here, this is like another one, DeFi for Bitcoin. Again, this is just, right, it's just like, I guess they call it a super layer for Bitcoin. This one will definitely run. I think it's going to launch very soon. We got another one too that's coming out recent, or not coming out recently. It's coming out soon. Merlin chain. This one's gonna be another Bitcoin layer 2. This one looks very top notch in my opinion. I want to see this one really launch. This one ticker is gonna be Merl. But again, even some of these that are out or that are going to be out, the same exact thing in my opinion is gonna happen for the charts. They're probably gonna have a hype launch and they're gonna dump. They're gonna do exactly what Turt did. I don't think in that same couple month time frame, but these are gonna launch. They're gonna come down and they're gonna just chill out for a while. But this is where the opportunity is going to be. We have all these solid layer twos, and I think layer twos on Bitcoin this cycle are going to be like getting into the new ETH or the new whatever you wanted to call it, like last cycle, like Solana. Solana was supposed to be the ETH killer, but I think a lot of these layer twos, like people just aren't focusing much of attention on Bitcoin layer twos right now. I know for me, it's like I wasn't focusing on these like 100%, until recently, and until I realized I'm like, well, a lot of these are brand new, and Bitcoin layer twos like this, I feel like they haven't had a real run. Even Stacks is one of the only ones that's been out for a long time, but that one has been, Stacks has just been building and consistently doing their thing for a long time. But just seeing a lot of these new layer twos, I think this is where a lot of opportunity is going to come from, is Bitcoin layer twos. Because I think even people still trying to find like the next layer one outside of like, whatever these different chains are coming out. Like they're still going to perform very well, but I really do think just everything is going to rotate back onto Bitcoin. It's on the literal asset that runs crypto. Why would you want to fade that? Why would you want to try to find something like outside of it, in my opinion? It's you can't fade anything on Bitcoin itself. Like you honestly would just be stupid to not want to at least look into this stuff. Even if you don't see why people want to do this, it's, I don't know. You can't fade Bitcoin itself. Like, and I'm not even a Bitcoin maxi. I don't really hold any Bitcoin unless I'm gonna use it to buy ordinals or BRC20s, or saving just for new mints and stuff. But I think this is just where the opportunity is, because like, why would you look at, again, like layer twos on, on these other chains like Sui and blah blah blah, whatever chains, like, when you could be looking at them on Bitcoin right now, on the literal, it's just the top crypto, maybe not technologically, but it's, it drives the whole market. So why would you not be looking here, right? That's my thought process with it. I think fading layer twos on Bitcoin, anything Bitcoin DeFi related, you're honestly not going to make it. You should have a good portion of your portfolio allocated to some sort of Bitcoin DeFi, even if it's one or two projects. Like, in my opinion, I think it's so important. And still, most of my portfolio is ETH tokens, but like I said, I have a good chunk allocated, ready to jump into a bunch of these. And when I do, I'm gonna let you guys know. Mainly, obviously gonna jump into the Patreon, let everyone know in the Patreon. But if you guys want to get that info earlier, you can check out the Patreon below too. But I just wanted to show you guys some of this opportunity here, because again, there's literally another 2 or 3 Bitcoin DeFi protocols too, like these other layer 2s or layer, whatever you want to call them, layer 1s, layer 2s, that are coming out and or have just launched too, So the opportunity is there. There's a bunch of them. It's the same thing as looking on ETH when you got Manta, you got, all these other chains too, even other layer 1s like, Metis and Sui. You could be trying to look at all these newer chains that, yeah, they got all the glam right now, but you also can check out these DeFi for Bitcoin projects that are literally trying to work to scale the actual coin that is, had just created crypto, basically. So that's it. I know I kind of reworded myself 5 times here, but just wanted to get that out there because I think the opportunity is coming right now, and if not, it's already here. So that's all I got for you guys today, and appreciate you for listening if you listen full way through. and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.